Once upon a time, in a quiet valley surrounded by lush green hills, there was a humble shepherd who lived a peaceful life with his flock of sheep. Every day he took his sheep to graze on the hillside, and every evening as the sun began to set, he would lead them back to their pen. The shepherd wasn't alone in his work. He had a loyal dog by his side, a strong and steadfast animal who protected the sheep from predators. Together, they made a perfect team. The dog was devoted to the shepherd. With every bark, it chased away the wolves, the wild dogs, and any other threats that dared to come near the flock. The shepherd, in turn, always treated his dog with kindness, providing it with food and a warm place to sleep at the end of each day. But one day, something unusual happened. The shepherd and his dog were on their way back to the pen when the shepherd stopped in his tracks. He had been thinking about his situation. "I work hard all day guiding and protecting these sheep," he thought to himself. "And yet, the dog gets as much food and comfort as I do. It hardly seems fair." The shepherd began to feel a growing resentment toward his loyal companion. The shepherd turned to the dog and said, "You know, I do all the hard work here. I lead the flock, I watch over them, and I protect them from harm. You just run around barking, chasing away the wolves. You don't really do much at all." The dog, hearing these words, was taken aback. It had always done its job faithfully, and now its owner was complaining about its efforts. The shepherd continued, his voice growing more frustrated. "I give you food, shelter, and care, but what do you actually do to earn it? I could easily do your job without you. I don't need you anymore." The dog, though hurt, didn't respond with anger. Instead, it turned away from the shepherd, laying down at the edge of the field. It was clear that the dog felt deeply wounded by the shepherd's words, but it didn't want to argue. It had always been loyal after all. Yet, the thought that it was no longer needed began to gnaw at its heart. The next day, the shepherd decided to put his thoughts into action. He no longer took the dog with him to the fields. He felt certain that he could handle the flock on his own. After all, he was strong and capable, and the dog was just extra weight. As the day went on, the shepherd began to realize just how much he relied on the dog's protection. A pack of wolves appeared on the horizon, eyeing the flock hungrily. The shepherd alone tried to shout and wave his arms to scare them off, but the wolves weren't frightened. They continued to advance toward the helpless sheep. In a panic, the shepherd tried to fight the wolves off, but they were too many and too strong. The sheep bleated in terror, scattering in all directions. The shepherd's heart raced, and he realized with a sinking feeling in his chest that he had made a grave mistake. He should have listened to the dog's quiet dedication, its silent loyalty. At that very moment, the dog appeared, sprinting across the field with a fierce bark. It charged at the wolves, biting and snapping, protecting the sheep with all its might. The shepherd watched in awe as the dog fought valiantly, driving the predators away. When the danger had passed, the dog returned to the shepherd, panting heavily but proud. It had once again fulfilled its role, saving the flock from certain disaster. The shepherd, exhausted and shaken, fell to his knees. He realized that his earlier judgment had been clouded by pride and ingratitude. He had taken his dog's loyalty for granted, not fully appreciating the importance of its role. As the sun set, the shepherd called the dog to his side. "I was wrong," he admitted, his voice soft. "You are worth more than I ever realized. You have saved me and my flock, and for that, I am truly grateful. I promise never to doubt your value again." The dog wagged its tail, its eyes full of understanding. It didn't need words to know that the shepherd had finally seen the truth. The bond between them had been restored, stronger than ever. And so, from that day forward, the shepherd treated the dog with the respect and appreciation it deserved. They continued to work together, each understanding their own importance in the shared task of protecting the sheep. The shepherd knew now that no matter how small or quiet the help might seem, every role has its value, and that sometimes the most loyal companions are the ones who ask for nothing in return. The moral of the story: Never underestimate the value of those who support you. Sometimes we fail to appreciate the efforts of others until we truly need them. True loyalty and hard work deserve respect and gratitude, no matter how small the task may seem.